Hey there. So today I thought we should do something a bit more fun than like trying to reason about weird multi-process race conditions. So I thought we were going to start implementing the image set function in CSS. This is a function that basically I have the specification here, and you can specify uh, an image, a string, a resolution. Like a string is just a URI. So basically an OR image, a resolution, and or MIME type. And this is useful um, to choose resolution based on the size of the display without having to use media queries and so on. Yeah, so let's get started. I have let's set up my debug build. And the first thing we're gonna do is setting up a ref. So let's go to all the usual suspect, like the layout, CSS, reps. And this doesn't seem particularly sorted. So let's just pick a place. This looks as good as another place to do this. So it needs to be mirrored to Rust, so we need to make that. And layout CSS, image set, enabled. Let's fix the dogs. Let's make it false by default for now. So that's good. Now let's start build. So the first thing we need to do is to parse this and where this lives. So basically CSS values have 4 different representations, up to 4, right? So like there's the specified value, which is what the user writes on the style sheet. There's the computed value, which is what ends up like what resolves all the EM values, relative lengths, that kind of stuff, and colors. And then there's the animated value and the result value, which is what gets returned from computed style. So the first thing we want to do is to tweak the specified value for images, right? And this lives in image.rs, servo directory. So here's the specified image, the generic image, and the computed image code. So for when the representation for computed and specified values is shared, it's basically the same. We have generic types. So this is the actual image type, this monster right here with like 5 generic parameters and so on. This is the kind of thing that that then gets instantiated for specified and computed values. So let's go here. And image. So we have crossfade. And let's implement image set, which is basically a list of image set items, which is going to be an image, or let's go to spec. So it's going to be an image. The string we're just going to convert to a URL directly. So it's just we need to store the image and the resolution and type, right? So it's going to be an array of so how are we doing this for crossfade? Yes, it seems somewhat similar to crossfade in that regard. crossfade element, which is a person internal image, crossfade image, or color. Yeah, so yeah, so images are like pretty slim. Like we tried to make them like small because there's a lot of them. So we're gonna box this and well, let's not care about that. We can do that in the future if we want. So we want create. So this is all separated by commas. I always forget the CSS syntax. Shorthands. Yeah, so commas. Yeah, let's just do that. Generic image set self. And we need to add resolution here, which is a bit annoying, but resolution. And we probably need to propagate it down here. So resolution. No, that's very fine. So generic image set, so resolution. That's fine. So let's do pretty much the same here. So let's move to generate crossfade image. Let me pass here. Okay. Let's link this back to the image set notation. Image set. The result value, all that is auto-generated, that's fine. And generic, we also need a different element for this. Image set element, and this only takes the resolution and image resolution. So that looks about right. And we also need to do the same. So it's basically the same. It's pretty similar to the crossfade setup we have. It's going to be a bit trickier in the future, but we need to decide when to select the image, and they have different ideas there. Yeah, let's see. For now, this is fine. Generic set item or item to element. Element is very overloaded. So is item, I guess. So image resolution, and then this will have a string, potentially empty. So the type, name type. Then we need to serialize this. This cannot be derived. It almost can, but Great. So we need to use these types because these get translated to C++, while the regular. So basically, you would usually do something like this string. Like this string, the layout of this string is not properly defined by Rust. So we have our own like boxed. Well, this is equivalent to this actually, and like the layout of boxed strings is not really defined by Rust, so we have our own thingy. Same for the own slice thing. So yeah, so we need to implement the serialization for this because the mount type might be empty. And I think we're going to skip the mount type for now. Because if I recall correctly, WebKit doesn't support it. And I'd rather use the empty string to represent the lack of a type function. So yeah, let's just do image and resolution. That's good enough for now. So to do type function. So type function asks us to basically discard elements that we don't support. Okay, so the build is done. And I don't know how thread safe that check would be, so let's not do that for now. So resolution and the image, which is just image. It's just that simple. Yeah, it's not even. String is converted to URL at Parsing. So this should mostly work already. So let's do the same exports here, right? So this is not crossfade. And the function image set to resolve value, that's fine. So image set. I mean, I guess we can also export the item. Generic image set item as set item. So basically, the way I think we're going to actually implement the selection is going to be at computed value time. So like we would have here just like a selected index usize or something. But let's save that for later. For now, let's do just the parsing. So we have that, and now for the component style value specified image and parse for. So basically, the way it works, the way all images work, is like the way all CSS values work is like they get parsed with the parse trait, and they get like serialized with the toCSS trait, right? So, and a lot of the code can be automatically inferred, I guess. Oh, and I guess the resolution needs to be optional somehow, which is a bit annoying. Yeah. Let's. Yeah, I mean, why would you omit the resolution, right? So, like, it behaves at 1x, and also default the images, natural resolution to 1x, or so. Okay. Yeah, so we'll just CSS. So when serializing, we have like this handy macros. So where do we have the resolution defined? Resolution. Yeah. So this is the specified resolution. And think we're just gonna skip it if, so we don't have a computed resolution, do we? We do. Great. Which is just the ppx. And 1x is 9060 ppx. All right. So I think we are just going to skip the serialization if it's 1x, basically. This is just because of that. And that allows us to always use the shortest serialization, which is what the CSS spec usually does. And let's go. So right. So crossfade. So there's probably a type. There you go. So bulk type. Set. Set. Resolution. Resolution, we need to import specified resolution. Yeah, so this is all like somewhat boring plumbing, but that works. So now image set item equals generic image set item image resolution. That's fine. Arguments. Okay. So yeah, we need to just also something like this, where like image set enabled, image set enabled, and for server image set enabled as false. So now yeah, this is a bit annoying to have to manually implement this. Meh. I think we're gonna pass and automatically do this for now. So we're going to also well, no, let's just do it. This should just, this could be simpler. Oh, where I did. Only specified values need specified value info. So why does it need to be generic? Does it build if I don't make it generic? Probably shouldn't. Like it should, but I guess since like it's recursive generic code and we are making generate the image implementation, it may get annoying. Whoops. So image set enabled. All right. Now parse for image. That is interesting stuff. So if, yeah, so this is a bit wasteful in the sense that we may be retokenizing too much if Like we basically try to parse this crossfade, and if it doesn't work, then we try to parse this something else, and so on. And this could be made maybe slightly more efficient, but most of the images are going to be either none or URLs, so I think, or gradients, I guess. So I think that's fine. So if image, so like probably here where we parse gradient, right? Parse for gradient, we could instead like lift this up and make it a bit more efficient, so that we check the function and we can like stash here also like crossfade, this crossfade enabled, so yeah. But I'm not gonna do that for now. It's also like, I don't think it's a big deal. If image set is enabled, then we try to parse as an image set. Why am I hitting always the wrong key? So crossfade, image set, image set. Yeah, that works. So if image set is enabled, so now parse for, here we need to parse image set. Yeah, so this is doing something odd. Yeah, but not a big deal. Info parse for image set. So basically, we expect function matching image set. And now we parse a comma separated list of image set items. And so items to into. Why is this not working? Elements, call it elements. Specify image. Okay. Yeah, items. So items dot into. All right, and now we need to parse each item. So import parse for image set item. And same thing, we need to parse a resolution or eventually, so okay. So the string thing. When we parse an image, we try to parse a specified image URL. What is this doing? Parse for specified image URL. So does it take a string as well? Or do we need to handle strings? Yeah, that's not going to take strings. That's not very useful. Parse for specified URL. So the reason we need a specified image URL is because image URLs for some reason serialize differently. I think there's an issue on the spec for that. So we need like a wrapping type. It's a bit stupid, but so this should be in Gecko URL. There you go. So parse with course mode none, parse from string. Yeah, so instead of, so I think we can parse from string. Pretty sure there's something else that allows us, oh yeah, import. Yeah, so let's expect URL. Yeah, we have that. But that's a bit silly. Okay, so let's, all right. So it's either an image or, so ideally you would be able to just image parse text include, and here, yeah, so with input try parse. So let's do the common keys first. I expect URL or string. Okay. String. For that, even each equals. Input try parse yada yada. And yeah, sure. If it is a URL or string, we can just specify image URL parse from string URL as web into, and this is going to be an image URL. Yeah. And now it's an error. Then we want to throw it away and just do image parse context input. So that's an image. And the resolution is going to be input try parse resolution parse. Well, if it's a free function, this would work, but like it's not. So input resolution parse context input and graph for resolution x 1. So it's going to be 1x. Then we need to actually like skip this during serialization, but that's gonna be fun. That's easier than like keeping track whether it's optional or not. So then self image resolution. That looks about right. And let's see whether this breaks. What have we forgotten? Everything's gonna break awfully. I'm seeing it. Oh well. Yeah, that's a lot of errors. Style image, get image request, out of line, get image superstore value. What? Oh, so like we stopped generating images at all in the servo bindings, and that is not good. So generic image set item, and resolution. Yeah, so servo component style. Let's look. Debug. Style servo style const set. So we're generating image set item. That's fine. We're generating image set. We're generating this just fine. So what's going wrong? Something's clearly off. So style image is not getting generated. Is that it? Style image. Style image body. Yeah, that's crossfade stuff. Yeah. Oh, right. So server performance style, we forgot to pass the resolution to the computed image. Values computed image.rs. Resolution. Resolution. Style values specified image.rs. We also need to do that here. Alrighty. That should help, at least. Looks a bit better. Style resolution, right. So now the issue is resolution, server component style values, either resolution or resolution. This needs to be Gecko C. So it's generated by CPy engine. And yeah. So dppx. Oh. Now it should work. Otherwise, like, we are not generating style resolution and stuff is not compiling, which is not totally unexpected. So style resolution. Okay. That sounds about right. Yeah, that does look better in the C++ binding side at least, and it's probably going to warn whenever we can handle something like a style struct. So type jtag.url. Yeah, so we have all this stuff, right? And yeah, we also need to handle this. So case tag image set return. I mean, yeah, so we need to return if the selected image is complete, right? So it's complete. All right. And here we're gonna move this here so that the next time somebody adds one type, it gets a compiler warning rather than just a runtime insert. We're gonna do the same here. And this tag set to do re-enter and repeated image, the selected image. For now, let's just do this. So crossfade has an implementation that is up for review, but it needs a bunch of changes. So yeah, for now we're gonna do this to avoid the compiler warning. Right, so what's going on here? That's a lot of Rust errors. Where did we mess up? That's a lot of errors, like a lot. Expected result. Okay, that we can fix easily. Oh, so we need to debug. So specified value info is not implemented for image set or crossfade. Okay, so that is why crossfade needed to be generic, like the generic implementation. Now we know. Yeah, so we need to implement debug onto CSS and so on. So do CSS for, we need to add a bunch of parameters, resolution, oh, it's a parameter already. Also vect. Okay. We're gonna spell it out. Resolution to CSS and crossfade. It's and so that's the serialization stuff. There's also debug for image, which just serializes to CSS. Okay. I wonder if we can just do this more easily. So instead of that, we can say image GRUCT. That's a lot of letters to type. Resolution. Maybe we can even use self, but CSS. That should be better. And yeah. So now circle computer style values, specify resolution. That needs to implement specified value info. And specified value info is like DevTools autocomplete stuff. And it's mostly useful for colors and I guess lengths and so on. But I don't recall what deriving this actually, like if it will do the right thing for dimensions. I guess it should. Yeah. So specify value info and style div. Yeah, so it reads CSS and dimension. It doesn't derive the dimension stuff. Specify value info. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so it doesn't read CSS dimension. So keyword, it understands keywords, order values, aliases, functions. I mean, that's fine. We can end them for each field, then the input name. Yeah. Anyhow, I think it's fine. If it doesn't do the right thing with autocomplete for resolutions, then we can fix the driver code. So yeah, so that should help. And now for crossfade, specify value info. I thought we were going to get around without it. So style values, specify image. So yeah. So why can we get around doing this for specified gradients, but not? Yeah, I think that should work. Not implemented for resolution. That should be fixed. Not implemented for resolution. Not implemented for generic crossfade, yada, 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 yada. Oh. So that is because we are trying to derive this on the generic crossfade stuff. And that's not great. No, we're not. What? 22. Oh, okay. So basically, this is trying to say generate crossfade, yada yada yada. So this is computing the wrong bounds for the trait, right? Because the IB code by default, let me just silence this. So the IB code by default uses all the generic parameters and says, well, resolution needs to implement this and so on and so forth. But for these two, it's recursive and we don't really want to do this. We want field bound. We don't seem to support it with CSS field bound or something. So we haven't got the need to do this yet, but I think we're going to. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, but that should get rid of a bunch of these. Because it's just, yeah, that doesn't implement debug and so on. Somebody should fix this web render warning. So specified value info not implemented for generic image set. Yeah, so it's doing the field bound. It's trying to right. I think we're gonna just, yeah, this one we need to fix. This one's the parsing issue. And parse from string takes 3 arguments. And that's a float. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna undo the crossfade like specified value info implementation, and we're just gonna do the same for image set. This makes me a bit sad. Like, I think it's fine to show in auto completion, but anyways, we'll just do this. Server component style value specified image. So I'm gonna so crossfade enabled, like no, for generic crossfade. And now we need to do the same for image set. Image resolution, image resolution. That's been unfortunate. Okay, so now self. There are a few parsing errors here. Yeah, so let's get from the result. Let's get from the result. What do I do? Yeah. So that looks about right. Oh, and we need to clone this, make this clonable. Yeah. Debug, clone. I mean, we can derive a bunch of stuff, but so we're going to compute value onto CSS. Block size off, yeah. Or shall I queue do shman? Clone debug. Yeah, that seems like a good start. We can. Yeah, that should help. Yeah, so otherwise images are not comparable by default, and that sucks. And not clonable by default, which also sucks because we clearly use it. So to result value. We need to implement that. Yep, that looks much more. Oh. Ordinary commit set. Yeah, this looks much more reasonable so far. There's a couple errors that we need to look into. So resolution needs to implement result value as well. Computed resolution to computed value to result value. Because like the result value for resolution is just like resolutions on computed style should just be resolutions. So it's just going to do to be itself. Feels like this is mostly this a lot of errors for. Oh yeah, and then there's the F32 value and specified immature stuff. So let's go one by one. X1.0 and parse from string. What does parse from string do? Then parse from string. Need always parse this, even if it's invalid. That's fine. So you need the context and the course mode. Okay. So it seems we need to parse. Yeah, so we need to parse this down a little bit. Like, because we need to. So there are some properties that parse URLs that should use a different course mode. And we store that information at parse time because it's where we know the CSS property. But right now we're just like happily, well, try to parse the URL first. If that works, then we're done. Otherwise, we parse an image normally. And that's not gonna fly. So it seems we're going to need a little bit of refactoring here. So yeah, let's just parse with course mode anonymous, course mode, create stash it course mode. All right. So see, most init rect is already using the wrong course mode. So course mode, then course mode, and yeah, so we basically don't implement the parse trait, but that's fine because nobody uses the parse trait directly on these. Just do it for conveniency. So here we do parse with course anonymous, parse with course mode, context input, course mode, course mode. And same here, we need context input with offset down to image set, and also to crossfade actually. Otherwise, it's actually a security issue, so we need to. So the regular parse can be just image parse with course. What did we do for anonymous? How did we call it? Parse with course anonymous, parse with course mode. Okay. mode, and then context input course mode none, and now we can call image fn parse with course mode. So this parse with course mode, and then the crossfade, course mode, course mode, course mode, course mode, course mode, all the things. So parser noun, crossfade image, parse, course mode, parse for crossfade image. Where's crossfade image? Is that derived? So we need not to drive it. That sucks. Yeah, so this derives course mode, and we need not to do that. So basically derives parsing, and now we need to implement it manually to handle course mode correctly. I should have got that in review. So pull crossfade image. I mean, it's handy with auto-generated, but so right, okay. Equal image with course mode. Context input course mode. Then return okay. So image. Otherwise, for parse context input map. So I actually could probably note this stuff. Okay, color parse. Yeah. All right. So color and save with this course mode. Let's say I can parse, and that also needs course mode, course mode, course mode, context, course mode. That looks about right. So gradients can't have course mode shenanigans. Alrighty. And yeah, we need to import the course mode. It is in somewhere. Yeah. So to create. All right. So parse with course mode. Style values specified URL values. Alrighty. I think that should work. That gets us the parsing bits. And then we need to actually implement this. Fun stuff. And in order to implement this, like implement choosing the right image and so on. And where did we not use this? 1144. Yay. So like hopefully mouse image rect. Like I don't think it's a big deal that this was not using the right course mode. That's technically a bit of an issue. Okay, so with that fix, we have the parsing implemented. That looks about right. Specified value info. Yeah. That looks pretty decent. And now we can do stuff like config, init set. It may or may not crash. We'll see. So we can do DevTools are so slow on a debug build. We can do document body style background image and do image set abc and it crashed. I mean, not totally unexpected. Yeah, so we need to specify that whether this is an image request type depends on the selected image. Anyways, no big deal, but we can do document create element div that style dot. So that style equals document element dot style and style dot background image. This shouldn't keep that crashing code path because the div is out of the document. So background image limit set, and if we get it, we get it right. Yeah. So that all works as expected. We probably want to not serialize this 1x, maybe. And yeah, we can't call get computer style yet, but that will also work and would serialize the ppx. And yeah, that looks about right. So I don't know how much I've been recording, but that seems like good progress for now. So we're going to submit the bug, like submit the code. So we're going to test this whenever we actually implement it, like whenever we finish implementing it. But landing the parsing stuff it's a good step. So let's get that done. So task implement parsing image set. Let's create a new bug for this since we're not fixing the whole thing. And let's double check. Yeah. that all looks pretty sensible. So to implement parsing and serialization, is also fixes an issue where the course mode was being tracked was getting ignored. The plan for most of the set implements the basic unit set notation without, which I think the format thing is a CSS images for thing, and the images 3 version didn't used to have it. But okay, so for now, let's do this without the format function. For simplicity. Like, we probably need to implement this before we ship it, but for now, that's fine. Was getting ignored. Parsing. And there's a serialization issue. We should probably skip the next solution. But that's fine for now. Address this in a follow-up when the future is testable. The intention is to resolve the image to image selection computed Python. Selected index or such. This allows let's say follow up. Yeah, so basically what we want to do is to, instead of auto-generating this to computed value trait, right? Generate mixed. Yeah. So this right now auto generates to computed value. And instead of that, we want to manually implement it. And the computed value gets a context. So for computed style, sorry, component style value is computed mod. So it gets a context that can get the actual display resolution and so on. And we'll use that to resolve to select the image instead of doing the selection during layout. And that should be easy, and we need to already restyle the whole. So this is good for two reasons. First of all, is it is great because it already gives us the right comparison. So like if you change resolution, but the resolution doesn't change the affected image, we won't repaint. And it already works. It should work because we need to restyle all elements when the resolution changes, because we use the resolution at computed value time already to clump borders and column rules and that kind of stuff and outlines. So yeah, so that's good enough for now. We got the parsing working. We can probably land this in this state, disabled by default, and get it reviewed. And yeah, after that, I think it's just a matter of basically adding a selected index here and do the selection into computed value, and then implement all the layout stuff that we just like to-doed in stats.struct.cpp. I think that's it actually. So let's see. So submit this. Oh, yeah. I was profiling this a while ago. Fine. Most sometimes is too picky about directories. All right. So that should be it. That should be it. That's up for review. And we should, well, it should show up eventually. That is. All right. Yeah. We'll test all this stuff once it doesn't awfully crash, basically. And yeah, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed. If you preferred this kind of video to like just regular debugging, let me know. And I don't know, actually, just yeah, I enjoyed it. It's fun to like express myself and having to express my thoughts in voice rather than just like in my head. So it's kind of a fun exercise. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.